Let's go straight across to India today. It's Gaurav Sawant who is live with us. Gaurav, we just saw that spectacular ground report on the Sela tunnel. Incredible. I don't think anybody's ever gotten that, inside view of a piece of infrastructure that has really troubled and annoyed China a great deal. But the question I want to ask you, since you're the first journalism team in Tawang in the wake of what has happened last Friday, is tomorrow things are set to escalate militarily, Gaurav, with that big air power demonstration. It's going to be a huge air power projection of power, by the Indian Air Force. What's the mood on the ground? What are you hearing?
Shiv, it's absolutely euphoric. The mood on ground is, this is the real India that even our country is seeing. Our braves have done this in the past. Your conversation with General Tiny Dhillon, it was very clear. Our soldiers are brave, they are battle-hardened, and they're not scared. In fact, you reported that first, Shiv, that our soldiers didn't just fight a defensive, pitched battle, if I may, of fisticuffs with the Chinese. They actually went across, and so much so that the Chinese were petrified, and they fired in the air. Shots were fired in the air, and yet our soldiers stood their ground. So that's the mood. It's the big infrastructure push, that's point one, and it's the big air exercise. Again, a very strong message that's going out. What are the assets that are being used? So we have the latest Rafales. You have a squadron at Hashimara. So you have the Rafales, you have the Su-30 MKIs, perhaps the most potent aircraft in the inventory of the Indian Air Force. You have the unmanned aerial vehicles. You have the transport fleet. You have the transport helicopter fleet. Again, it's quick movement of men and material. There's the exercise of the missiles,
yes,
in air defense and other roles. So overall, the Indian Air Force will be validating some of its concepts, interoperability, quick movement of men and material. A game changer here, Shiv, as you well know, has been the quick movement of men. How? You spotted the adversary. You spotted the adversary build up. He built up over several days. You knew where he would want to come in. Yangtze, as you well know and our viewers know, is very sensitive for China also. It has a religious significance, it has a military significance, and it also shows India's dominance in this region, in the Tawang region, that China is desperate to counter. So India was not only effectively deployed, India could rush in additional forces. So that is what the infrastructure push also indicates. Quick movement of men and material, and that's the infrastructure push that's getting another fillip. So yes, one is the Sela tunnel, one are the more roads that are being built. The second part is this grand border highway that has been sanctioned. It will take time to be built, but look at the concept. One end of Arunachal Pradesh connected to the other end of Arunachal Pradesh. So inter-valley and intra-valley movement of troops becomes much faster, gives India the edge that we so keenly require in this sector.
Gaurav, thanks very much for that. We'll keep coming back to you. Gaurav, the only reporter on ground bringing you what's happening in Tawang. He'll be anchoring from there at 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Do not miss India Today's coverage of what's taking place in Tawang at this point of time.